Last week, I showed you our moving backgrounds that we newly added to the running sections of our game, with the parallaxing background within the window background, with the desert in the background moving slower than the spaceship background. Hello and welcome back to my R&D project. My name is Luke. The date is 1/24/2020. And this week I worked on the second puzzle inside our game, which, as you can see, we have these two circles that are divided up into the outer donut ring circle and the inner circle. So basically, the point of this puzzle is they'll start at a random rotation, and you'll have to try and line it up so that it is so you have to line up the circle so that all the lines connect, and then you'll be able to move on through the game. Right now, this is just a prototype of the puzzle. It is still incomplete because we are having a little bit of an issue getting the thing to check if they have the same rotation or not, so that I can check to see if they're lined up. But it works somewhat. So if we click the play button, you'll notice a few things happen. You'll notice that the circles all went to these random rotations, and it's a little bugged. So I can rotate this one, and when I click my mouse, it'll allow me to rotate the other one, and I can switch back and forth. And right now, as you see, nothing happens when I have them both lined up. But something else you might have noticed was these green lights behind them that were not there before. Those are supposed to indicate when you have completed that circle, which, as you can see here, they're invisible, and we can activate them here, but we want them to be invisible for now. And they do get set to active when you're supposed to have complete the puzzle. But you probably noticed that they turned on right away, despite me not having complete the circle. If we go to my code, we can try to see what's going on, if there's a problem. So we have all our variables here. We have the game object, which is the glow, the green glow that is behind the circle. And we have the gain object that is the corresponding circle, so like the outer circle corresponds to the inner circle. We have a vector 2, which is direction, and that helps it point at the mouse when it is when you're moving the mouse around the screen, and it's gotta move to the it's gotta like point at the mouse. Basically, that just helps it point at the mouse, because it's a little glitchy if you don't have a certain few lines of code for that. We have a static integer, which basically means it will always be the same among all the different pieces. And then we have a normal integer that'll say, hey, this is piece 1 or piece 2, and it's a little helpful thing to do stuff like that. We have a timer. We have this is something I was testing to try and get it to work, which, as you can see, I did not have it working yet. Those were some variables I was seeing if it would putting these certain things into variables would help it. So that's what those are for. And then here we have this 3 lines of code to set it to a random angle. We have these Euler angles, which, to be completely honest, I'm not entirely sure what they are. I had to look it up on the internet for how to set it to a random position, and this is the answer that I found, and it worked in my program, so I kept it in there. I plan to do a little more reading about what those things are. But yeah, so basically we have this vector 3, which is a Euler, and then we have it set the z to a random range from 0 to 360, so all the rotation. And then it just sets it to that Euler, which so it sets the z position, which would be the rotation, to the random spot. So in the update function, we have this if statement. It is checking to see if this static integer piece selected is the same as the piece. So if the inner circle piece 1, if piece selected equals 1, then that's the one that is following the mouse, because this code here inside the if statement is turning the mouse. So we have a vector 3 for where the mouse is inside the screen. And then this basically gives it like a the position, so like the XYZ position of where the mouse is, and the direction, which is why we have the vector 2 direction, just sets the direction of the circle to point at the mouse. And then we have it transform dot up, so it'll turn towards the mouse, and -1 times direction. And here we have we have this if piece equals 3. This is one of the outer rings. It's so that not all the rings or all the circles are trying to change this line of code at once. So we just have this one thing changing this, and it is basically just changing the piece selected, the static variable, so that it can change between the two circles. And then this is where we are seeming to have a little bit of a problem. So we have this if statement. If the corresponding circle z position is greater than or equal to this circle's z position, or the inner circle, -1, and it's greater than the inner circle +1. So basically in that little range, it should give it a little timer so it's not instant, and people aren't just swinging it all around and trying to see if it's trying to get the right spot. And so basically, yeah, it should only set it to glow when it's in that range. And I don't know why it's not working. My math, there might be something a little wrong with my math, but I don't think there is. But yeah, that's what I have for this week. And yeah, so next week I will be hoping to double check all that code, fix up this puzzle, and get it working for next week. So that's what I have planned for then. So anyways, yeah, so thank you for watching this R&D update. I will see you next time.